I think, yeah, it's been a big move percentage wise. I do think silver and gold, they've all put in, I think, their major bottoms. And I
Hmm.
mean, I think long term from here, they're all going much higher. I think they're going to probably do something very similar. Like silver had this first big breakout and then it consolidated for a long time. And now it's got a new breakout. And however high it goes, then I think it'll consolidate and build one of these bases and try and shake people out a little bit. And then eventually, I think when we have a financial reset and things reset, that's when I think we'll see, silver and gold really start that next rocket ship, major move out. So
ChrisVermeulen, the founder of Technical Traders Ltd, anticipates that the real transformative move for silver and gold will come during a financial reset, which will trigger the next major upward surge for these metals. Examining the monthly chart for a long-term perspective, Vermeulen notes that silver is approaching the highs seen in 2011 and 2012, indicating a level of significant resistance. He suggests that after this current pause, the next target for silver will likely be in the $35 range. Over the past few decades, gold has generally outperformed silver regarding returns. For example, from 2000 to 2020, gold had an average annual return of 9.6%, while silver had an average annual return of 5.1%. However, it's worth noting that silver has had periods of outperformance, particularly during times of high inflation or economic growth. Looking at the broader market context, Vermeulen predicts that gold, silver, miners, and other commodities will perform well in the coming months. He thinks these assets will be seen as defensive plays, potentially outperforming even if the stock market declines. Turning to the silver miners, particularly the juniors, he observes a similar pattern of a recent pullback, indicating potential for future gains. Vermeulen is optimistic about silver's prospects, noting that despite current resistance levels, there is room for another upward push. An index that tracks metals mining shares has climbed its highest in almost 2 years, with room to run even higher as companies that mine precious metals continue catching up to gold's rise to record high prices and silver's climb to 11-year highs. Over the past 12 months, the NYSE Arca Gold Miners has climbed by 12.1%, which pales in comparison with a 30.8% rise in silver futures and a 21.8% gain for gold futures. Now we present you the clips of ChrisVermeulen's insights from his recent interview with natural resource stocks. Before we continue to delve into this discussion, please subscribe to our channel and activate the bell icon for timely updates.
I think there's quite a bit going on. Let's pull up the chart and take a look at the silver chart because there is some interesting price action going on. We're hitting some levels on the chart. So if we were to take a look at silver here and just look at this daily chart, obviously we've had this huge run up. It's got everybody's attention. Based on the short-term price action, it has pretty much hit its measured move for the time being. And generally, when something has kind of had its move, everybody's interested in it, like always, like right near the end of a short-term move. Now, this is just a short-term pause, so I like to use Fibonacci extension, and we can just take the price action here from a closing price or an open or close bar to this one to here. If we carry this forward down to these lows, we're pretty much at this 100% measured move, Andy, and that is an important level where the market's usually going to run out of steam. So just at least for a short-term pause. And that's what we're already seeing. We're already seeing it pause, a little pullback here. I think will probably be like a launch pad for it to keep going higher. Because when we look at the overall cycle of the market, we're in a sweet spot, I think, for a few more months where I think gold, silver, miners, and other things, other commodities are going to do very well. And no matter what the stock market does, and they're in kind of a strong mode that should buck the trend of even if the stock market goes down, these are going to be seen as defensive plays. So just based on this price action, we've had a really nice run up. We had a controlled pullback. We've now gone up and pretty much hit this 100% measured move. And all that's doing is saying, based on this pattern, expect a pause or pullback. And that's what we're seeing across the board with silver. If we look at the silver miners, they're doing the same thing, like the silver miner juniors. They're having a pullback. I like silver. I think everything's got some really good potential. If we look at the monthly chart and we can get a look at the big picture view, we are still seeing silver come right up into these highs back that we saw back in 2011, 2012. So it is poking up into a level of serious resistance. I do think there's potentially another push higher in silver. If we were to look at the overall maximum kind of upside potential for silver, based on Fibonacci extension on this longer term pattern, it is showing us that we should see silver potentially run to about 36. So there's still another leg higher. This little pause that I think we're about to see, I think will bring it somewhere to this 35, 36 range, which are these two highs here. I generally, if there's two major highs or a major high below 100% measured move, I'll stick with these lows. That's where there's going to be these higher lows as the target. So 35 is going to be probably the next upside push after we have a little bit of a pause or a breather here. This will be the sweet spot around the $30 mark before it starts another big leg up. Now, with that said, if this is a high momentum move, which it kind of feels like it is, typically what price will do in a high momentum move is it'll run up this thin blue line. This is just the 5-day moving average. So it might only pause for a couple days and then just keep pushing higher and higher. So if this high momentum carries through and this is just a little hiccup along the way, it could really, take off here from the 5-day moving average, which is about 31.29, somewhere in that area, and then have another significant push higher. I do feel like it's going a little parabolic. And everybody's talking about it. Everybody seems to be piling in. So that once we hit this kind of parabolic bubble phase, it's a small one, but you don't know if it's going to keep blasting off or is going to have a huge red bar and wipe it all out.
In Vermeulen's view, navigating the next 5 years will require strategic diversification into different assets. He predicts a prolonged bear market for equities, reminiscent of the early 2000s, but sees strong potential for precious metals to perform well during this period. J.P. Morgan has issued a stark warning about the U.S. stock market, predicting a significant drop in the S&P 500 by the end of the year. He believes that these metals will see major upward moves after some consolidation and volatility, particularly following a financial reset. Vermeulen is also excited about the prospects for silver miners, uranium stocks, and gold miners, especially undervalued small-cap stocks that could offer substantial opportunities in the future. Let's get back to the interview.
It's definitely been a strong move. It's nice because it has a hiccup, a pullback here along the way, kind of at the halfway point, which is nice. When something gets overextended and just keeps ripping to the upside, it actually does a lot of damage. It can take a long time to work itself out, but something that runs up, has a pullback, a quick speed check, more or less, and then continues to go higher. Like the weekly chart looks really good. I mean, I think, it's been a big move percentage wise. I do think silver and gold, they've all put in, I think, their major bottoms. And I mean, I think long term from here, they're all going much higher. I think they're going to probably do something very similar. Like silver had this first big breakout and then it consolidated for a long time. And now it's got a new breakout. And however high it goes, then I think it'll consolidate and build one of these bases and try and shake people out a little bit. And then eventually, I think when we have a financial reset and things reset, that's when I think we'll see, silver and gold really start that next rocket ship, major move up. So I think most of the upside for silver, like there's still another 10, maybe 15% to the upside. And then I think it's going to be volatile for a little while. The next major move after that is probably 6, 12, 18 months from now, just to guess. But and then I think it'll be off to the races. And that's the point I'm going to be really excited is that's when I'm going to want to get back into like some really small mining stocks, underpriced things that just got beat up during the bear market and a recession phase. That's when I think the precious metal space is going to be really exciting again. And silver miners, uranium stocks, I think are going to be incredible. Gold miners, those are kind of the ones I'm most excited for to catch the next kind of life-changing move. I would say the stock market starts to weaken out this summer, starts to correct. I don't know how long a bear market phase will go in the stock market and the economy. I kind of actually feel like it's going to drag out very similar to 2001. It could be a multi-year weakness in equities, which is not bad because precious metals can do very well and rally well before the stock market does. So it's not a bad scenario, but a lot of people think there's going to be some quick bear market and then we take back off to new highs. I think it's going to be very difficult next 5 years or so for equities. And it's going to be important to be involved in different assets that are moving.
In the coming years, a financial reset is anticipated to catalyze a significant upward movement in precious metals such as silver and gold. Silver's chart structure has a clear target. It's a matter of time until silver hits $50. On May 17, 2024, silver staged a secular breakout. Driven by its ultra-bullish chart pattern, silver can and will hit $50. How do you plan to diversify your investments considering these predictions for the precious metals market and the potential prolonged bear market in equities? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you find this video informative, don't forget to support our channel and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest videos. See you in the next video.